And Mike, I mean, you traffic in a lot of informed speculation. You do a great job at that. You put the Steelers on the list of potential landing spots for Dak in 2025.
Well, it was just a matter of going through the 8 divisions, looking at the teams, and asking the very simple question of whether or not they're going to be in the market for a quarterback after this season. And with the Steelers, we assume it's going to be Russell Wilson or Justin Fields in 2025, but there's a chance, like we saw this year, the entire depth chart gets blown up and they find somebody who's available, and Prescott's going to be available to go anywhere he wants for any contract he wants to sign. And the thing that would be beautiful would be for Dak to do the team-friendly deal he refuses to do with the Cowboys, to do with a team like the Steelers, to kind of stick it to the Cowboys, but also to set himself up with a roster around him that could get him to where he's been trying to go ever since he entered the NFL in 2016.
Mike, why do you think it is, I know you mentioned team-friendly deal with Dallas that he didn't want to do, but why do you think it is that the Cowboys don't want to pay Dak Prescott a market value deal or are unwilling to do so, however you want to term it?
One of the big issues is the escape hatch. And all of these contracts, we see the numbers that get leaked to the information robots that have the news 5 minutes before it's announced to the world anyway. And we don't see until the deal comes out exactly when the team can get away. For Daniel Jones, for example, after the first 2 years of his deal, the Giants can get out. The Raiders and Derek Carr had a contract a couple of years ago. After 1 year, the Raiders got out. The Seahawks deal for Geno Smith is a year-to-year deal. The Cowboys were looking for, and have been looking for, I'm told, an out after 2 years. And so that's one of the issues. And then you get into just the raw dollars. How many dollars do you want to devote to the quarterback position when your quarterback has not yet taken you to even an NFC championship, and how much of it is his fault? And look, people are talking about $60 million a year for Dak. He hits the open market. It could be 65, it could be $70 million. All it takes is one team, and the cap keeps going up and up. The money keeps going up and up. We saw the Browns do a ridiculously stupid, in hindsight, deal for Deshaun Watson. They gave him that money, and they had to give up 3 first-round picks and 3 other picks. This is a guy that is unrestricted, unfettered, with no compensation. You get a guy like that comes to the market, there's a chance the market goes crazy. And the only way it doesn't is if collusion is real in the NFL, and plenty of people think it is, where teams will have a hard cap on what they'll pay, or teams will extend a professional courtesy, a gentleman's agreement, whatever the case may be, and not take someone like Dak Prescott if he hits the market. I'll believe that when I see it. I mean, Dak Prescott moves the needle enough that there's going to be one team out there that is willing to pay him what the Cowboys aren't, if and when he hits the market.
Mike Florio with us. Mike, do you think that the Steelers' 2025 quarterback is on their roster right now?
We're going to find out, and we're going to find out 1 week at a time. And, I probably said this last week after the news came out that Russell Wilson was the starter. The schedule plays out perfectly to give him the first half of the season and see where we are when we get to the bye week in week 9. 3-5 or worse. Maybe Justin Fields takes over. 4-4 or better. Russ keeps going. And it all depends upon which guy gets the chances, who does well, how the team does. There's a chance none of them could be back next year, especially after we just saw the Steelers do it this year. I wouldn't have thought the Steelers would have pulled the plug on their entire depth chart, especially Kenny Pickett with the 4-year contract, but they did. And if they did it last year, they'll do it this year if they think it's in their best interest to find somebody other than who they have.
Do you think they're making a mistake by not trying to get Fields to sign a bridge deal now before the season even starts to guarantee themselves one of these guys for next year?
But if I'm Fields, why would I do it? Unless it has
what was the market for Fields this offseason? That would be the rebuttal, right? I mean,
well, but if I'm Fields, I'll become a free agent, and I'll just see how the world plays out. Because what are you going to pay me as? Are you going to pay me as a backup? Are you going to pay me as a starter? Or are you going to do some funky deal that has my compensation tied to how many games I play? If I'm Justin Fields, if I'm Justin Fields, I'd just say the hell with it. I'll take my chances and become a free agent.